be here in the grand finals right now after the run that they were on yesterday. But it's a single elimination bracket. With these two teams undefeated, they are running into the monsters that are Luminosity Gaming.
We need these teams to figure out how to translate a great Day 2 run into a championship Sunday performance. I know Revelation, they left a lot to be desired there for themselves. I'm sure they're trying to work through it. But for some reason, Luminosity Gaming, every time they step into these situations, already feel like they've been playing all day and they're walking in to just play another match and continue that run. Whereas every other team we've seen on Championship Sunday so far feels like, again, just completely disjointed, like they're being woken up, like they're having issues getting going, and Revelation needs to figure it out quick because they're running out of time.
Look, I don't think there's a scarier squad to run into in the grand finals than LG. They play so incredibly well. They make very few mistakes, and as we saw there in game number 1, they can deliver an absolute dominant performance. Ban right away on the side of Revelation. They're making sure that Leafeon is not coming back into this match on the side of Luminosity. Inteleon banned away.
I understand completely. Blissey also going to earn a ban here. Huge ban rate on that support Pokemon. It's incredibly strong.
And we have Suicune for the final ban. This is a Pokemon that I really don't think should be making it through any draft, if I'm being honest.
Agreed.
I think Suicune is unbelievably busted right now in Unite. Just the slows, the stuns, the freezes from this Pokemon is incredible. First pick onto the side of Revelation. They were looking for it here, and they were able to grab Blaziken. Looked at as maybe the best all-rounder in the game that isn't Suicune right now. The combos are incredible, and if this Pokemon can get online, it can take over games.
Great picks. Duck, Hoopa back the other way, which means every other pick LG is going to have is going to be high octane. However, you are giving Pikadiff Snorlax, very predictable. It's a great tank Pokemon. Pikadiff, specifically, incredibly strong on it. Oblivion yanking the Armarouge out of the hands of Curios, something that Curios has been playing a lot over the last 2 days, and obviously last game was no exception.
This is what you start to see happen in a high-level match of Unite. As you're going back and forth through these drafts, you're starting to take things away from the enemy team that they desperately want, right? You're very aware of how that Curios has been crushing it on the Armarouge here. So you're going to steal that away from them in draft. On this other side here, Curios on the Talonflame. I don't know if that's going to be switched for Trainer. I feel like I've not seen Curios play much Talon.
Doesn't matter. It can flex between the two, and now they're just giving Trainer the opportunity. If he sees something he likes on the other side, he can make the call and they can swap, or he can pick up the Talonflame and nab something for Curios. And to me, I feel like that Decidueye is going to go into the hands of Curios. We're going to swap that up. Again, Decidueye playing at long range, and Inteleon does as well. But the difference between the two, Inteleon has a bit more range, but that Spirit Shackle from Decidueye goes through targets, whereas the Snipe Shot from Inteleon just eats up the first thing it hits.
Yeah, I mean, we actually saw Decidueye kind of make its return to the scene. It feels like during regionals, EU was playing a ton of this Pokemon here, and now we're actually seeing it, out here in NA. Feels like a strong picker. One thing that you have to recognize, it outranges everything on the side of Revelation in a massive way, and Revelation doesn't have the best dive on their side either. They kind of want to fight at this close range, brawling, but they're not that interested in diving into the backline. Of course, you have Buzzwole Unite. You have some options there, but it really doesn't seem like they're going to be able to get to Decidueye.
No swap. Trainer is taking Decidueye.
Yeah.
So rare do we see Trainer fighting from range. Razor Leaf Decidueye, question mark?
I do not.
There's no way.
I don't think we're seeing Razor Leaf Decidueye here as we head back to Thea Sky Ruins for this battle. Obviously, as you take a look at the map here, you see all the tall grass that these Pokemon can hide in. I don't think LG's doing much hiding, though, as they are keeping the pressure on their opponents as we're getting ready for game number 2. Revelation, your purple team, Luminosity Gaming, your orange team, best of 5 grand finals, LG up 1 game.
Now, Revelation has to rally quickly here. Obviously, in terms of range, Luminosity has it covered, but they can at least close the gap on Decidueye if they level up early and put the screws to Trainer.
Yeah, and here we are in the top path, seeing what we can do. Overlord actually possibly walking right by. They're trying to get a secure here. Moving in on Dispenza and Lunier, trying to get a KO right away as we head down to the bottom path immediately to see Curios having to peel back on Talon.
Yeah, good pressure put on by LG and good counter pressure in the bottom path by Oblivion and Picadiff.
Yeah, and now we see them looking for some of this experience here. It's so vital early on if you can steal away some of that. Nice secure there from Luminosity, able to get Overlord level 4. Steeny now, but they really get online when they become Zarina at level 6.
We have that Dark Trick showing up. Of course, that is Trainer going to be sitting there waiting and hanging out to see what the rest of the Revelation team does. We've got a couple pings here as the Torchic is running away from path, and I think they've lost sight of it here.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to leave Eldegoss just in the top path here as a little Gossifleur. They're going to give a lot of this over to the side of Luminosity Gaming. No, some of it's secured there by Dispenza.
Well done.
Impressive stuff into 3.
I mean, Dispenza's been having just a great tournament to begin with. Nice split scores here. Of course, on the bottom side, it's a big overload. You can't just take everything, so Slash is just playing safe, trying to A-press and prevent as many scores as possible. But Overlord has evolved. Darktrick's going back to the center. We've got a little bit of a Fletchender cover here as Curios is having a tough time evolving.
Yeah, Curios having a tough time, but Overlord having a great time here in the top path. Now that they are Serena, they can brawl. They're playing the triple axle build, which will just let them continue to spin that kick through the opposing team, giving themselves some amazing recovery as well with their Queenly Majesty. Big time KO in the top path, and they're going to continue putting the pressure on here.
I mean, great job by Otter there again with the surf, pinning them against the wall, creating space, using the headache well. Now, here comes Celestial trying to poach Overlord. Looks like they cleansed through it, and now they're into the back line, and they're going to keep the pressure on. Picadiff is making Trainer scramble. Trainer's in a lot of trouble. No way. Heavy Slam misses. They can't quite get them. The pressure continues. Otter does go down, but we're going to keep this thing going. We're finally playing Portals. Dupe Snacks loves it.
Here we go. Talon having to run away from this fight, not yet level 7. A good engagement from both of these teams. You can see Celestial on this Buzzwole trying to take down multiple members of LG. We had Zarina dive too deep, and they were taken down as we have a fight breaking out here right now.
Oh, man, that's a lot of players for Revelation. Taking to the skies is Curios. Crash landing after that fly on top of the other team. Otter's low on HP. Picadiff with a nice heavy slam in the back. Celestial just punching up Overlord, getting some spacing, has to grab some berries, and Overlord now back over half HP with a nice shield. They're pivoting to Regirock.
I gotta say, the psychic play there from Psyduck, able to reposition that Blaziken early in the fight was impressive. Looking for the Regirock right here. No, not able to get it. There is that Spirit Shackle from Trainer. Beautiful secure.
Well done by Luminosity Gaming. Good pressure by Celestial, at least getting a knockout there in that exchange, so not leaving with nothing. And of course, in response, Revelation able to take Regieleki, and we see the knock-knock arrow in tandem with Overlord, gets another knockout, and they're going to be able to rip Regieleki right where it spawned here. Dispenza going to step up. He's hiding in the bushes. Big overheat does hit Overlord. He walks into that one. Portal is down. Is Overlord going to make it? No. Now they're below half HP, but nobody can follow up.
Yeah, they cannot chase in on that fight because they know they are just going to be peppered with those arrows from Trainer. Decidueye able to play at some pretty incredible range, and I really do think if you look at Revelation's comp, it's going to be very difficult to get back there and stop them, so they are going to be putting out a ton of damage. Otter in a little bit of trouble right here, being blocked into the wall. Curios just watching from the tall grass, deciding whether or not they want to fight here, flying up into the air and peeling back.
Now we're sitting on pad. We've got 3 players just hanging out. Spirit Shackles is going to be able to help close that distance, especially with the range they're putting on. Able to, of course, get some of that action too. Luminosity is playing incredibly well.
Yeah, Luminosity is doing very well here, but Revelation way more in this game than game number 1. 57-114 right now. A little bit of a fight possibly breaking out. Look at, once again, that Psychic onto the Blaziken. They're moving in for the fight. Talon Flame up into the air, going for Celestial, and Celestial goes down.
Great surf to pin them against the wall. Picadiff block is going to try and space Otter out from the rest of the team, allowing Armarouge to get on top of Trainer. 3 players down. They need to get a quality KO. They do. Trainer does go down. That's at least something. Get some of that experience back. Picadiff is going to have to defend this goal zone. They're going to do their best in the face of 3. Nice block, and Overlord just immediately Grassy glides back in. Here comes Dispenza for the support, filling in their role well. Celestial picks up, puts down, Slash Can, poached and KO'd.
And here we have 7 seconds until this bottom Reggie hits the map here with multiple members of Revelation. They are ready to fight. We don't have the Hoopa down here to bring the team down with their Unite move. The knock-knock arrow is out, and Registeel's being ripped apart by Revelation.
Yeah, we'll see if LG even wants to make a play for it. Maybe just looking for knockouts go for that prayer spirit shackle, but in the face of 5, it's difficult. We're sitting on pad, and late to the game is Curios. Rings Unbound's going to pull them through. Right into the back line is Celestial, and they're putting an absolute blender with another series of good surfs. And that actually seemed to be the only thing that Revelation wanted to do. Let's send in Celestial, buy some time, and everybody else leave.
And you can see Curios here actually spending some time in the central area of Revelation, trying to take away this Excelgor buff right here. Getting blocked into the wall, but able to get it still. Talonflame, incredibly mobile, really difficult to deal with. Otter, once again, just pestering them with that Psyduck Psychic. Maybe the most annoying Pokemon to play against in the entire game. Psyduck is unbelievably good and so frustrating for the opposing team.
Absolutely, I love Psyduck. Fly to help secure. It was pretty much in the bag anyways, but we'll just speed up the clock. And I believe, did they secure that before the 4-minute mark? Because that might be a difference maker. Probably too close. Here we go, the fight rages on. Fly in, Celestial's low. Overlord uses their Unite move on them. Single isolation target down. Right into the back line, Overlord continues. They finally get knocked out. I believe that was an overheat. Heavy slam coverage by Pikadiff, not good enough. Portal's going to reset Curios so they can come back through. Yes, knock arrow is out. They're going to get that back in time. Pikadiff is low, can't quite get a knockout. Lunier's going to get crash landed on with a fly. Multiple targets hit. Regieleki hits. Luminosity Gaming is hitting every single vibe they can.
Wow, beautiful play there from Curios on the Talonflame. Crashes down, gets a multi-KO, and then scores in that gold zone that was left defenseless from that Regieleki. Beautiful stuff there. 57-95 with a minute until Rayquaza. Now, Dubsnax, obviously Rayquaza can change a lot in a match, but when you're already down by hundreds of points, even if you get it, the opposing team has a lot of opportunities to stay in the match and win.
I'm flabbergasted. Revelation needs to find and figure something out right now. This Regirock's the next target here, and we're going straight for the body, son. The fly into the back line. Overlord's dealt with quickly, but the Rings Unbound Hoopa is laying some good stuns. The exchange is a 2-for-1. Now we're trying to stun down Oblivion. They're going to retreat, and now this Regirock becomes easy money for LG.
Beautiful stuff from LG, and the Spirit Shackles from Trainer have been on point, catching 2 in that fight in a massive way. The longer range Decidueye is at, the more damage it will actually do with that Spirit Shackle. So it being able to stay out of these engagements is perfect for it right here. Just trying to see who they can find with their Shadow Sneak. And we have Curios hopping in, landing on him with Fly, getting a lot of information for LG. They get to decide how they want this to go.
Nice little move there by Oblivion. We're taking to the skies. Lunier sussed out and the pressure's on. Power Nap on top of the team. The portal is down. Knock arrows out. Celestial's going straight towards Otter. Otter gets KO'd. Now Trainer's in trouble.
Whoa,
they're down. Three players down. And Revelation is obviously looking to flip the script. Overlord is standing tall by themselves, but they're in the face of 4 on the timer is Armarouge. Overlord is there going straight in. They want the bodies. Flame sweep into the middle here as they're going to keep the pressure on. Fly is too early, and now it's off cooldown. It's secured by Revelation. Secured by Revelation. They are down by 240 points. They need a lot of scores here, but they've got a lot of shields.
That's right. We are in double time right now, so these 50 points are hundo burgers, everyone. 357, 295. They are up as members of LG are now scrambling, trying to figure out what they can do. Shield still on the side of Revelation. What a beautiful fight. With 3 down, they went for it. Even with Talonflame there, they baited it out. Talon with the fly too early, and Revelation able to secure. But with a minute left, LG is looking to fight.
Yeah, they're down by 60 points, and they've got an opportunity here. They need to take some knockouts first. Bang, there goes Celestial. Now they're putting the pressure on, but we've got a hundo going back on the backside. Now it makes the mission a lot tougher for LG. They're backing here. We still have shields. We got to put the pressure on. Pinned against the wall by Pikadiff is Curios. Heavy slam there. Portal is down. Power Nap right on top of it, and perfectly timed fly by Curios to reset.
Yeah, here we go. 457, 295 at this point. They have to make 2 huge scores here. We have the Eldegoss in the air. Talon trying to make a play, landing into an overheat and getting absolutely destroyed.
Overlord in the back line, and there's not enough players still standing. This defense is going to stand tall. KO streak of 2 for the Blaziken as they keep on pushing. And Revelation steps back into this one and takes a win.
Well, we were wondering when Revelation was going to wake up. Here they are, tying it up in our grand finals.
Well, the prediction was 3-1, and we are one step closer for that to materialize. However, we know that Revelation would like to turn that on its head and 3-1 back the other way.
What a fight by Revelation. You know, we talked about it earlier in the match, Noob Snacks, keeping it so much closer than game number 1, and they needed that. That Rayquaza fight was very close, but once a couple Pokemon start going down, the dominoes start falling. Luminosity can't stop them. Kyrios moves in too early with Talonflame. You love to see the Flame Sweep, you love to see the fly, but look at the patience on Revelation in that moment to say, all right, just stop hitting the Rayquaza, let them use all their moves, and then we will secure it.
Yeah, I mean, well timed, baited that out perfectly. You know, Overlord having themselves a heck of a game, but that just wasn't quite enough because the team fight was too strong. And keep in mind, they didn't even knock Overlord out in that final fight. They knocked everybody else out, got some good targets down, namely Trainer, a great secure option for this team. And Lunier with a great game here on this Blaziken. 6 knockouts, bunch of points, bunch of damage.
Yeah, 76,000 damage here. And one thing that Blaziken can do that Zarina cannot is secure, right? With Overheat, it is unbelievably powerful with its secures. The burst damage is incredible. Both of them can brawl very well, and you saw those numbers from Overlord. Obviously, he is in the mix, brawling the entire game here. But it doesn't only depend on who's getting the most damage, right? You have to not only secure the damage, you have to secure the objectives, and you have to get the KOs when it matters. Those 3 KOs at Rayquaza for Revelation were everything.
Absolutely. It gave them just the window